Chat, I will do something unthinkable. I will stream without showing my face. I'm a rebel. There is a reason for it, though. It's because I forgot to charge my phone. And speaking of which, I have a very nasty confession to make. And I hope you guys won't judge me. But I have an iPhone. Chat, I'm sorry. It's true. I do have an iPhone. It's not the latest version. No, it's an older model. I think it's the iPhone X. I got it for VTubing. Believe it or not, the iPhone has this facial recognition Chinese shit, so that the government knows who you are. And I got it because it's compatible with a VTube program called The Bridger. Yeah. But when I got it, it used to be that the battery would last for around 3 days. Like, you would charge it, and then you'd forget about it for 3 days. And now the battery requires charging every single day. The thing is, like, when I grew up, when I was a little lad, and mobile phones became a thing, I remember you could open the phone, and you could just switch the battery. So, like, if you had a battery that was dying, you didn't have to replace the entire phone. You just had to replace the battery. You swap it out, and there you go. I can't do that now. I wonder why, though. I wonder why. And you notice that almost every single gadget that you buy nowadays is kind of the same. Like, I'm looking at my mouse. My previous mouse had an issue with the mouse wheel. And I knew that I could fix it, but then I tried to open the mouse and I realized that there's no way to do it. And it's so frustrating. Everything is like this. And, people criticize capitalism. This would be an accurate criticism. This is wasteful consumerism. The problem is that the same people that are pushing this shit up my asshole are also the people that have a solution. Right? They're part of the World Economic Forum, and they will say, well, yes, Mother Gaia is dying, so therefore V needs to shut off his air conditioning. It's like, how about you give me products that I can repair so that we can recycle? Because I don't want to get a new phone, all right? I just want to change the battery. Like, the battery is the problem. The rest of the phone is fine. I don't need a better phone model. At least now the EU has demanded that smartphones must have replaceable batteries. I'm pretty sure that they'll find another way to fuck with the consumer. They will probably make the price more expensive, or they'll figure out some other possible way to annoy me. But it is what it is. It's just like, the thing that bothers me, though, is like so many people are fine with it. There's no more consumer advocacy. Did you notice that? When I grew up, there used to be this thing like consumer advocacy. If a company pissed people off, they would be vocal about it. And now no one cares. Now everyone is complacent. I don't know why or where this is coming from, but it's just weird. It's like, I'm not expecting that people would boycott the company, but at least give it a bad name. Again, when I grew up, everyone was shitting on EA games. Like, no one was boycotting EA games, but the logo of EA games was the same like a turd in the eyes of many gamers. It was like, yo, you work for EA games? What a piece of shit. You know, like, it was a stigma associated. You don't get that anymore, do you? Now it's just like, I think like Bud Light gets the stigma, but other than that, every other company seems to be just fine. Locking devices down with DRM so it can't do anything. Oh my fucking god. No, but the thing is, all the morons that go for smart things, everything that's smart should be translated as spyware. Right? So like if you have a smart house, that's a spyware house. If you have a smartphone, it's a spyware phone. Now certain things are needed in order to be in a modern society. Like, you need a smartphone, right? Because you need it for your job. You need it to be able to have people contact you. Like, if you don't have a smartphone, you're just fucking weird, right? So like, I understand why certain things exist, but then you look at smart grill. It's like, what the fuck is that? Why do you need the smart grill? And you find out that last Thanksgiving, and I swear to God, this must have been done on purpose. There is no fucking way that they didn't do it on purpose. On Thanksgiving in the United States, they released a patch for the smart grill. So if you wanted to grill, right, like if you took your grill to barbecue somewhere and you had no internet access, the grill wouldn't function. Oh my fucking God. Hey, hold on, Jimmy, give me a second. I need to... holy shit, I accidentally blocked someone else. There we go. Anyway. Who buys a smart grill and why though? It's like, why do you need your grill to be smart? Libyan, type something because I accidentally blocked you rather than someone else. There we go. The biggest dumbasses are the people that bought smart houses. There's two issues with this. The first one was with Google. The other one was with Amazon. So the Google smart house. Google had an outage for a couple of hours, and much to people's dismay, they couldn't enter their homes and stuff. But Amazon was the guy that was a delivery driver. And he thought, no, like this is the cyberpunk dystopia. You play the video game Cyberpunk and nothing scares you anymore because everything is already happening, right? So like there's this idiot that has like an Amazon smart house, and there's a delivery driver who thinks that he heard someone use the N-word from inside the house, right? And you're like, well, what the hell? The guy files a complaint. And Amazon shuts down the account for this guy's home. So now the guy can't turn on the lights, can't open the garage door, locked out of everything, right? So now he has to file a complaint and beg Amazon, right, to allow him access to his own fucking house. And again, like saying the N-word in your house, into the sanctity of your fucking home, like Jesus Christ gives you that home and you can't say the N-word in it. If you can't say the N-word in it, is it really your house? God, no, it's Amazon. It's Jeff Bezos. I am willing to bet, Chad, that Jeff Bezos can say the N-word in his house, and that is why you need to become rich. That is why, because when you're rich, you're powerful. How do you know you're powerful? Because you can say the N-word in your own bedroom. That's how you know. When you can say slurs in your bedroom, you are somebody. You are a person worthy of respect and admiration. Person of privilege. If they say white people have privilege, if you can't say the N-word in your bedroom, you have no privilege. Will you do Stellar Blade gameplay streams to fight Marxism? No, because it's on PlayStation. If it was on PC, I would. Anyway. I bet Bezos says the hard R all the time. He probably can because it's his privilege. He worked hard to be in the position where he can just say slurs without getting cancelled. Just like Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau can do it. He can wear blackface all the time. He can wear blackface in public. Nothing will happen to him. You look at him with awe and admiration. You're like, how can a white man do this? How can he get so much power? And the answer is because he works for the government. He is, Justin Trudeau probably goes to his wife. And he's like, you heard of someone getting cancelled? Then you think of me? I am the one who cancels, bitch. I'm willing to bet he role plays like that in his fucking bedroom. He can definitely go. It's like all these peasants, they get canceled for wearing different clothing and for wearing. I do not. I go in front of them and I mock them because I can and they can't. By the way, speaking of which, Justin Trudeau new law, like this one is something that I need to make a video on. New hate speech law, in prison for life. I used to make these jokes on my channel, and it was like, someone would say something racist, right? You have a powerful, strong racist online. Someone that, makes the ADL turn their heads in quiver in fear. It's like, oh, how can the social media platform allow this? And I was like, yes, they should be punished in prison for life. You say the N-word online, life in prison. You are a danger to society. You cannot be trusted next to law-abiding people. But I was saying that as a joke, right? Apparently, no. Apparently, The new liberal online harms bill, you can end up to life in prison. Life in prison. It's worse than child pornography, right? Like if you're in Canada, and like this is like the only other crime that I can compare it with, right? Like sending stuff online. Like what else can get you in prison for sending stuff online, right? Like CP, like that is right. And you get less of a sentence for that than if you do the Hassesprache, the speech of utter hatred. You know, like life in prison. Life in prison. I think that even if you were to murder someone in certain circumstances, you get less in prison than this. But it makes sense, right? Because the speech of hatred threatens the politicians. This is what it's all about, right? Like, what is the speech of hatred? Oh, you don't want immigrants. Oh, so who wants immigrants? Oh, the people in power. Well, we need to vote for someone. Well, that is hateful. How dare you suggest that, Trudeau? Huh? Why is every single Western country trying to outcompete China when it comes to fascismus? Huh? Like, has there been a competition, an international competition, which country can become fascist the faster? Like, let's compare ourselves with Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. The struggle snuggle gets you less. Yes. Yes. Will you understand? Oh, I read it. Dev says that it's fine. Oh, Dev is fine with everything. Unless, unless like the government says it's bad, then he's fine with it. Hello chat, hello V, hope you are not naughty online, otherwise your leaf in charge will imprison you. Support V and the game V gets... Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not in Canada, man. Like, holy shit. Holy fucking shit, you know? And it's such an ambiguous term. It's like, the speech of hatred. So like your fingers, if they go onto the keyboard and you do the clickety-clack, you can get life in prison. You go into the Canadian prison, it's like, what were you? A drug pin. What did you... I sold drugs to children. Holy shit. What did you do? I typed the N Tower on Twitter. And, you know? That's like, my God. Oh, Dios mío. The thing with Canada, I will tell you this. They already had this in the Human Courts Tribunal, I think it's called. Right? So the Human Court Tribunal was a Canadian thing, where it's not really like criminal law. So you don't really get a lawyer for free, right? You don't get an attorney assigned to you. But at the same time, if you can't pay the fine that they say you should, you go to prison. And it's a fucking kangaroo court. They even harassed and persecuted journalists for having the wrong opinions. I think like the people from Rebel Media were persecuted. There was a journalist persecuted simply because he said that the Canadian Human Rights Court is an illegitimate organization. Or something along those lines. And they got persecuted, right? It has a 90% conviction rate. Some of its popular cases have to do with an immigrant which said that this company was requiring an exam to get admitted and he couldn't pass the exam. So therefore it was discriminatory. The Human Rights Commission forced the company to make the exam easier so that the engineer can pass. There was another lady who claimed that she was... She went to a geek store, and at the geek store, like people there were saying mean things towards her, but she has absolutely no evidence of it. Like she doesn't provide any witnesses, any recordings. No one admits to this, but it was just her word, and because of that, the store was convicted. Like you have like the most batshit insane, crazy cases that you have ever heard. And again, this is not a criminal court, which means that they don't have to prove it beyond the shadow of doubt. You don't get a free lawyer. It was like completely ridiculous. And I think like what they're doing now is they're codifying that, not that absolute madness and hysteria into law. It's not even like human rights. Like it has the name human rights, but it's got nothing to do with human rights. So fucking bizarre. By the way, chat, question for Americans. Is owning a gun a human right, yes or no? Alright, hold on. I just wanna ask Americans this, because this is how you can trigger your fellow leftist. It's absolutely beautiful. Where can I start the... here we go. So start the poll. Ask a question. Is owning a gun a human Right. Let's see what the chat has to say. Polls have started. Place your bets. Place your votes, folks. Place your votes. I'm going to mind blow you with an interesting take. Apparently, some people say that it's not. Okay, well, I mean, it is what it is, right? We got 32 votes so far. Wow, 86%. 86. Holy shit! Look at the Americans. My God. Do I have Europeans? I think the 17% are Europeans, aren't they? All right. So, here's my question to you. It seems that it's over 83%. Oh, look, American Outlier is here. American Outlier, is owning a gun a human right? Yes or no? I hope all is good. Marxism is on the menu today. Yes. You know, even Karl Marx said that the workers should have guns. All right, so it's a God-given right. Then here's my question. If it's a human right, why doesn't the government pay for it? Right? Like when the left says healthcare is a human right, the government pays for healthcare. But my question is, why doesn't the government pay for your gun? It's like the government should give you a gun when you're 18. The government should pay for your gun. If it's a human right, why aren't right-wingers demanding that the government give them guns? I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be the conversation. No, the conversation should be that the government, Uncle Sam, when you're 18, should give you a free weapon. It's kind of like those video games where you know, like the first weapon you get is for free and you get a choice. Why aren't right-wingers pushing for this? I bet you haven't thought about it, right? Because it mind blows. It mind blows leftists. And when leftists says like, well, just because it's a right doesn't mean the government should provide for it. And you're like, you know? Oh my fucking God. What do you mean V-logic? It's 100% true. Tell it to a leftist who goes like, oh, healthcare is a human right, so the government should pay, right? And when you tell them about this, they will say, well, hold on. Just because it's your right to have it doesn't mean that the government should provide. And you're like, no. That's not a free market? I see. The difference is that we're not leftists. I know, if you were, you wouldn't be losing. The argument is too far on the control side. How is it on the control side? Like, all I'm saying is, like, you get one for free. You can buy another from your cash. But the first one should be free. I think, like, they actually did this. It sounds crazy. Oh my God. They did this in in medieval England, right? Like everyone was supposed to train with a longbow, and the government would actually provide you with a longbow. So it's not like it's never heard of. Like it's not unprecedented. Oh, V, what are you talking about? This crazy thing. Like, look at history. It happened already. The fuck are you talking about? It's a thing. It already took place. Anyway. No firearm ownership should be mandatory. I'm not saying you own guns or go to prison. Just like, where's your gun? Show me your gun. You don't have it? You lost it? You got 24 hours to get a new one, else you go to prison. It's kind of like showing the vaccination card. You need to show like your gun license. If you can't show your gun license, you can't sit at the McDonald's. Can you actually discriminate like that? Like that would be interesting. That's how you can discriminate against leftists. Holy shit. You make a store and you say that you need to show the gun license at the entry. If you don't have a gun license, you can't enter. Dude, I'm really curious. Like, think about how many people you discriminate by doing so. Like, if you have a gentleman's club, right? Like, you can't have a gentleman's club anymore because it's sexist. Like, they will say, well, if you're doing this, like, gentleman club, right? Like, you can't because it discriminates towards women. Like, that's what they say, right? You can have women-only gyms. You can have, like, clubs that are only for women, bars that are only for women, pools, spas, everything. But if you have, like, a gentleman club, which is only for men, no, you can't do that. So if you have it, like, this is a club, but you need to have a gun permit in order to enter. You need to show your gun license, right? Like, the fact that you own a firearm. Think about how many people wouldn't be able to get in. Owning a gun isn't a human right, it's a constitutional right. If it was the government should have paid for Glock 19 gun safety courses, but did they know? You're ruining my joke, for fuck's sake. All I'm saying is that you have like healthcare as a human right pushed by the left. And they're like, oh, Obamacare and all the other shit. It's like, why can't you have like the same but for guns? Mandatory firearm ownership is actually less intrusive than mandatory medical procedures. It fucking is. Absolutely it is. Voting should be contingent on firearm ownership as well. Oh, well, good luck implementing that. I don't even think you can actually justify it, though. Like, a club that only people with firearms can enter, you can make that, sure. But, like, everything else is a little bit too much. Hello, Eternal Emperor. Anyway, right. Let me show you something else. By the way, David and Goliath, I never understand why that is impressive. Like, hold on. So you got David and Goliath. Even when I was a kid, I never understood. It's like, what was so impressive about what David did, right? So you have the representation is here, right? You got David and Goliath. So you have like this big giant. And you have David facing off against the giant. He's got a fucking sling. It's like that Indiana Jones kit when Indiana Jones have a gun. Do you know what a sling is? Those things are very effective. If you know how to fire a sling, well, it's not just like a bullet, but it's pretty close. I mean, you hit someone with a sling, that person just, I mean, it's a weapon of war. Alright, like, it's literally an assault weapon of war. I'm willing to bet that the people from Judea had this thing registered. Like, they had the serial number on them and shit. These things were incredibly deadly. And they're outraged. Now I'm not saying that David wasn't in any danger, because if he missed, then, you know, it's not good if Goliath gets back up. But, however, Demo Shukushi, it's not that impressive. Now, if David had a sword and he was fighting with Goliath, then yeah, sure. You know, like if he did some Prince of Persia shit where he's like climbing on Goliath's shield and is doing like the backflip and like slashing it, like, okay, yeah, like that would have been impressive. But this is not like an unexpected result. Like I'm saying, if I was a betting man and I wouldn't know the outcome, it would still be, like, very close. I would probably put money on David simply because he's got the range weapon. He's got the range weapon, and, you know, even if you miss one, you can still recharge. I mean, reloading one isn't really that complicated. It's not as good as having a Glock, but still. Look, he even has a pouch. Like, it's got more stones inside the pouch. So, like, come on. Did he have a shield? I don't even think they have a shield. I think, like, this is a, historical reinterpretation. But back then in antiquity, people didn't have that, this good of an armor. Well, they did have armor, but not this fucking good. Anyway, right. I just like heard people saying David and Goliath. And I never understand, it's like, why is it so impressive? Not to take away from David, but like, it's not a mythical fact. And by the way, I was talking also about St. George and the Dragon. This is like something that Brits masturbate over. It's like, oh my god, look how impressive St. George is. And I'm like, alright, well let's look at the picture. Right? Let's look at the picture. And you look at the picture, and you see this shit, and it's like, oh, come the fuck on. Like, what? Okay, like this is the size of a crocodile. It's like a Komodo lizard. I mean, they're impressive, don't get me wrong. Right? Like, they can do some damage. But the motherfucker has a spear. Come on, like, look at it. There is no way that the lizard can outrange him. Right? Now, if St. George was fighting this, now this would have been impressive. Now if St. George was actually doing battle with this shit, I'd be like, oh my fucking god. I mean, oh, this is clearly a representative of the divine. The demigod shit. Yeah, before you go, it's like, oh, V. They did this in the Legend of Olympus. Hercules fought stuff like this. Yeah, who beat the Hydra? Who beat the F out the Hydra? The Medusa. They used to do that all the time, the demigods. And now we got, like, St. George killing... I mean, look, I'm not saying that is not impressive in and of itself. Like, killing a Komodo lizard with a spear. Sure, but he's on horseback. He's got, like, that motherfucking spear. He's got armor and stuff. I think he was safe. I'm willing to bet maybe he even had, like, some people to help him out. Which they cut off from the story because, well, it wouldn't have made it as impressive. It was a dragon. Yeah, Komodo dragon. Do you know how Komodo dragons look? I don't think they have them in Britain, though. Do they have them in Britain? I don't think they're native to Europe. This is how the Komodo dragon looks like. They're actually pretty fucking dangerous. But if you have a spear, and you're on a horse, you're pretty safe. They're kind of like bigger than a crocodile, and yeah, they're pretty nasty. They're carnivorous, right? So they also have like a lot of bacteria in their mouths. So like if you get bitten by one, you need to go to the hospital right away because you're in grave danger. But like yeah, it's kind of like this, right? Like this is what St. George fought. It was not a Komodo dragon. It had wings. Okay, so it's a flying Komodo dragon. Look, come on, it wasn't this, right? Like, can we agree that it wasn't the dragon in the picture that I showed? Would you kill a Komodo dragon riding a horse back with a spear? Okay, so if I was in a medieval society, it means that I was trained with a spear since a young lad. And I was also trained in riding a horse. In which case, yes, I would be fairly confident that you could. In fact, let me put it this way. I would be more afraid to face a grizzly bear than a Komodo dragon. In fact, no, shit, I would be more afraid to face against a wild hog, right? Against a boar than a Komodo dragon. Come on. Komodo dragons are like 200 pounds. Yes, and the speed that you can get on a horse and the charge that you can get from a spear is going to just make that Komodo dragon into shish kebab. No, I'm sorry. Like, look, don't get me wrong. It is impressive. Well, I'm saying it is impressive, but it's not mythical level. It's not like something that the bard should be singing songs over. Spear was one of the greatest weapons of war that was ever invented. It's true, actually. Yes, like, the spear is indeed one of the greatest weapons. Oh my fucking god. Oh, okay. American Outlier. That's great. You need to say George now. The thing is, like, the spear is indeed one of the best weapons that mankind invented. It's one of the simplest as well. It's like a sharp stick. Like, you take a stick, it's sharp, pointy end goes to the enemy. Do you know, like, it's people who actually do these medieval LARPs, like these medieval combats, they say that if you're a swordsman, a guy with a spear has advantage. And then when you get into formation and you fight into formation, that's even better. The Komodo dragon that I sent you, it's excellent. Komodo dragon is not an animal to mess with. But it's nowhere high on the animal danger scale. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. And everyone's like, oh, so you think you can... It's like, no, but like, look, if St. George killed a grizzly bear, it would have been more impressive. That's what I'm saying. Right? Like a grizzly bear, to take down, like, one grizzly, even if you have a spear, is very difficult. The only way that you can probably take a grizzly bear in medieval society is if you have, like, a formation of men. Like, you need like 5 or 10 spearmen. And even then, it would still be difficult, right? But basically, a Komodo dragon, no. Like, Komodo dragon, like, on the list of dangerous animals, that, like, okay, if you're a city dweller, you're kind of fucked, right? But like, if I have a spear, I wouldn't be afraid of a Komodo dragon. Like, you get a spear, you can keep it at length. Yeah, a big cat, a lion would actually be dangerous. Even if you have a spear, a lion would definitely be dangerous. I mean, a bear with wings would be some. A bear with wings would just land on you and you're dead. Polar bear is even. Yeah, polar bear, you're fucked. I don't think like people in a medieval society had much in the way of dealing with polar bears until like gunpowder is invented. Like what like crossbows don't do shit against it. You need people with longbows. Again, you need lancers, spears, people in formation. It would be very difficult to deal with one. 1v1 a bear is impressive if you win. Yeah, okay. If you manage to wrestle a bear, then yeah. Compared to a bear or even an angry cow, a lion is weak? I don't think so. Dude, I have seen lions scratch a post like a tree, and the level of damage they do to that tree just by like scratching it, it's insane. No, I think a lion can fuck you up. And the thing with lions is that they also hunt in packs. But like, okay, you want a single lion? No, I think at that point, whether you have a lion or a grizzly bear charging you, it's pretty much the same shit. Like, you're dead. I give Silverback the victory over a bear. So a silverback gorilla versus a polar bear. I think the silverback wins. I think like if there's two things wanting to kill you, right? So if you have like a polar bear that wants to kill you versus a silverback, I think the silverback will kill you because it's smarter. Like assuming you're in a cabin, like you're in a car, you're somewhere, the silverback just BTFOs you. I have seen that there was a case in the United States. There's many people that like there was this madness in the United States where people would take a chimpanzee as a pet. Like it's the dumbest thing you can do, right? So a chimpanzee looks like this, right? And when it's young, it's literally like a child, and it can do certain things that humans can, like use an iPhone. Or, you know, watch television and shit. Like they're very intelligent, right? So I can understand why many people wanted to kick them as a pet. The problem, however, is that once it reaches teenage years and it's getting all the hormones and the pent-up energy, it makes it very aggressive. So there were cases where chimpanzee literally bit off half of the face of their owners, mutilated and murdered people. And there's this thing where one of them ran amok after killing its owner. And you have like the video evidence of it going in the city. And it's attacking random people. And then the police comes up. And it just like rips the door off of the police car. It gets shot to death, obviously. But the amount of strength that this thing had to just be able to casually just rip off the door of the police car. Now imagine a silverback. The thing with like a polar bear is that it just doesn't know how to open a car. You know, like I have seen videos of it with people at the North Pole, and the bear just like presses his jaw against the window and just doesn't know what to do. A silverback knows what to do. It will fuck you up. Yeah, I would think like a silverback is probably more dangerous than a lion. Using iPhone doesn't require intelligence. Hold on, like there are pictures on YouTube. So, monkey uses smartphone. Hold on, let me get past the commercials, then I'll show you. Why am I getting 20 seconds commercials? Like usually there used to be 15. Oh my god, I hope I don't get another one after this. Jesus. There we go. Right, so look at this, chat.
Checking out what your buddy Tarzan is doing. What's he been up to? Hanging out with girls on the beach? Oh, touching snakes. That's always dangerous. Oh, that's you. That's when you guys almost first met, huh? He said, I like that video. That was a good one. Still checking.
Yeah, they can definitely use that. Zedif, $10. Thank you. Have you heard about the chimpanzee that grew 6 feet tall called the Billy Apes? They even kill gorillas? I didn't know about that. Now teach it cybersecurity. Well, you know what? We need more diversity initiatives, and then someone good enough can teach it cybersecurity. Is that the smoke alarm in the background? No fucking way. No Okay, hold on.
Checking out what your buddy Tarzan's doing?
Oh my god! Oh! Chat.
Doing?
Okay, maybe it's a bird or something, right? Maybe it's...
What's he been up to? Hanging out with girls on the beach? Oh, touching snakes. That's always dangerous. Oh, that's you. That's when you guys almost first met, huh?
Holy shit, chat. It was the smoke alarm. Oh. It was the smoke alarm. My god. How is it possible? How is it possible that you guys can hear it through time and space? Right? Because like this video was uploaded 4 years ago, right? So here we are in 2024 able to hear the smoke alarm through the magic of the internet. And the person owning the actual place can't hear it. Okay, like here's my question. We don't have the smoke alarms in Romania, all right? But if you genuinely don't want to fix it, why not just destroy it? Like, is it illegal to destroy it? Like, if it would genuinely piss me off that much, can't you just, like, remove the smoke alarm? Like, because, like, at the point where you're not changing the battery, so you genuinely don't care about it, right? Why not just remove it? Psychological... Dude, I don't understand how you can have that noise in your house and not just be driven abso-fucking-lutely insane. Like, I remember when I was a kid, there was this clock in my room that my grandmother used to have, and it went like click, clock, click, clock, click, clock. And it drove me the fuck insane. Like, I just like, you know? I can't even imagine what it's like to have a thing that goes tip, 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 tip every like minute or so. Jesus. I mean, you can live without a smoke alarm. Like in Europe, it's not a thing. I don't know if it's mandatory in America or whatever. But if you're at the point where you don't change the battery, then it's useless. Like, if you don't want to change the battery for it, then what's the fucking point, right? So, like, if you're that disinterested in it, why not just destroy it? It's like a vent noise. I don't know. It's so fucking annoying, isn't it? Dude, like, I wouldn't be able to work if that thing just went beep, 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 beep. They're usually connected to both the wall and the battery. When it's beeping, it just means the battery is low, so it's still working. Does it, like, at one point, just the battery completely drains and it stops chirping? Huh? See, that's what I believed. That's what I believed, is that the owner just can't hear it. Because there are certain things... Like for instance, there are certain noises that children can hear and grown-ups can't. So like maybe the people that don't change the battery, they just can't hear it. And I don't think they're taking the piss, because I saw like a couple of talk shows where there was a woman there, and the guy from the talk show is like, you don't hear it? And she's like, no. And he's like, well, can you listen? And it's like, beep, beep, beep. And she genuinely doesn't hear it. And I'm thinking like, well, maybe she just cannot. You know, like if you're a blind person, this actually happens to a lot of blind people. They leave the light on because they can't see it. Now you may ask, it's like, well, why does a blind person need light? And the answer is because you can have guests, you moron. There's actually this blind YouTuber, right? And he makes videos. I assume like someone helps him set up. And he describes how it's like to be blind. And he was blind since birth. And in his house, he does have lights. And sometimes he just leaves the lights on. And someone visits him and it's like, your light is on. And he's like, well, sorry, I didn't know. And it's because he can't see the light, right? So like he has a guest. And the guest stays there and they turn on the lights because they don't want to stay in darkness. And when the guest leaves, they forget to turn off the light. So like the light goes on. And maybe it's the same thing here. Like if you can't hear the chirp. If you can't hear the chirp, then maybe you're going to have the issue that it's always on and it takes a guest to hear it. Again, in the middle of the night. I can imagine this, right? So in the middle of the night, went to CVS, got a 9 volts, replaced them, and then went back to sleep. Folks need to go get their hearing check, lol. Yeah, but like, I'm not joking. Like, what if there are certain people that genuinely cannot hear the chirp? Because the thing is, like, if that's the case, then it's a fire hazard. The company making the smoke detector should change the alarm to something else. Maybe a gunshot. I think like if it's like a gunshot, then people will change the battery right away. If he's been blind since birth, he can't describe what it's like to be blind. He has no reference otherwise. Yes, he can describe what it's like to be blind. He can describe what it's like to cook. And he can explain. It's like, well, in my house, I know where everything is. And no, I don't get scared when I'm cooking. Like, that's the type of videos that he makes, right? He says that when he's walking on the street, it's like he uses his cane and he explains how life is like for him. And he also talks with people that do see. And he's completely bewildered about the ability that some people have to just walk in a room and know where everything is. Without having to touch, without having to do anything. You just walk in a room and you know everything where it's at. Like, he's just mind blown by this ability. So you know, they're very wholesome videos, very informative as well. Like, for example, he describes what it's like to dream as a blind person. He says he just gets smells or pleasant feelings of touch and stuff like that. Noise. Right? Like that's what he gets. And he explains how it's like to fall asleep when you're blind. Because, like, he doesn't close his eyes. Yeah. It's kind of like that. The people in the ghetto wouldn't be able to hear it if it was gunshots. Oh my fucking god. If you are partially blind, I imagine you can tell if the lights are on. Yes, like, okay, so there's like 2 differences of being blind. There's legally blind, where you can still see something, but it's not enough for you to have like a normal functioning life. And then there is naturally blind, where you literally cannot see. And even like naturally blind, like there are some people that can tell if there's light or there isn't, but like that wouldn't help you much. I mean, at that level, you can see just as well as a cockroach. No, seriously, that's what cockroaches do. That's why when you go into the bathroom and you turn on the light, if there's a cockroach, it runs away. It's just like the receptor between light and dark is strong, and when it sees that, oh, now it's light, it just carries on and hides. But like the cockroach can't actually see it. It can't see anything. It just detects the light. My mom is legally blind. She got surgery and it helped a lot. Well, I'm glad. Astigmatism. I have astigmatism. Astigmatism fucking sucks. Yeah. Daredevil is underrated. Anyway, right. I wanted to talk about Marxism today, and look how sidetracked we got. So this is from the GDC. Like a lot of people have noticed that whenever you have someone with GDC, which is a Game Developer Convention, whenever you have someone with GDC in their Twitter bio, they have the most lib shit takes. Like the most extreme, radical, far left takes imaginable, right? And this is why. And these people are like, what is woke? What is woke? They're like a parrot. What is woke? What is woke? Quack, quack, quack. Pew, quack, quack, quack. They're not interested in the spirit of what you're trying to say. They're not actually trying to understand what you're saying. They're just playing word games. But here's what you get at GDC. Marxism takes a deterministic approach to history. Before socialism, there must be capitalism. It must sound like crazy talk. Right? Like promoting capitalism amongst game developers must sound like crazy talk. But when you turn it into a design, it's great to work with. They're literally pushing for Marxism. Unironically, they're pushing for a genocidal ideology. And they know that the public hates it because it's fucking America. America despises God. They had a war over that. A cold one, but still. And they're pushing it anyway. And they're like, oh, why does the market like it? Oh, it's certainly because they're racist. Oh, it's because they're sexist. No, it's because you're pushing Marxist shit. Fucking hell. Oh, can you point to a game? Can you point to a game where there's Marxist shit? Like, no, I can't, okay? Like, there is no character in a video game that gets on a podium and starts promoting Marxism. But the people who make it are Marxist-oriented. Like the same people, if they find out that a school teacher is racist in its own time, he wouldn't let them teach kids. They would be like, well, even if you can't point to a single place where the teacher was racist in school, you would be like, well, yeah, but like if the teacher is racist, therefore his mindset is set to such a degree which could potentially influence his job. So they apply that logic when they cancel everyone else. But when other people are applying their fucking logic, oh, no. Yeah, like horses. High on ivermectin. What the fuck is GDC? Game Development Convention. This is what GDC is. American here, I hate communism. I'm a moderate and hate Marxist. Marxists call me far right. Everything is far right. You know, like they will say, define woke. But they never get to define what far right is. For them, far right means you want to have borders, right? So like the New York City mayor who's freaking out over the number of illegals that are coming into his place and is saying that the infrastructure can't hold it, they will say that he is far right. Far right means wanting law and thinking, you know what? I don't give a fuck about criminals. They should be locked up. I don't care. I generally don't. I think like society should be split between the law-abiding and the people who can't be law-abiding should be locked away for my safety. That is a far-right position. GDC has a ton of great videos. They are some of the most insane far-left activists that the world has ever seen. And let me show you another example, right? Like this is what I'm going to make my video about today. Let me see if I can find the thing. Because this is disgusting and disturbing at the same time. And again, like when you see GDC, you need to think, okay, like where the mental asylum should be. The worlds we create. The thing that pisses me off is that they use the word we when they are some of the most talentless hacks in the fucking industry. They're like the European Union. They can't create shit. They can just regulate. Like the European Union isn't creating AIs, it's not creating a new social media, it's not innovating. No, it just regulates, right? There is no AI project that I know of that the European Union creates right now, but they have created the first legislation to legislate AI. This is what the GDC does. It's like when we create, you did not create Mega Man, okay? You did not. Talented people created Mega Man. Mega Man is a video game that is famous around the world. People in Romania know about Mega Man, people in Japan, in China, people in India, and I am willing to bet that if you go, even in the ghettos in the United States, and you find any gamer that, like, someone that actually cares about video games, the chance of them not knowing what Mega Man is slim to nil. It's one of the most famous games in the industry, right? So they're complaining, oh no, this is wrong. Like, and instead they're trying to push for what is this shit? You don't even have a game to push. You slapped some corpo art together in order to promote a hypothetical. That they don't have a game here. This is okay. This is bad, right? This is good, and it's like, well, hold on a little bit. Why can't you show a game that you're proud of? Show me a game that follows your ideology, your Marxist bullshit, that you can say, yeah, I'm proud of it, and have that game to be at the same level as Mega Man. That people will play after 10 years. You know, like a lot of people go, it's like, oh yeah, but Baldur's Gate is so good. I don't think in 10 years anyone will play Baldur's Gate 3. I played Baldur's Gate 2 recently. No one is going to play Baldur's Gate 3 in the future. I guarantee you. I should play Nox, though. Nox is a good game. No, but it's like, okay, and there's like so many things that piss me off. It's like, oh, the world we see. It's like, yes, I want to get away from the world we see. I hate the world we see. That's why it's called escapism. I live in the world we see. I don't want to pay money so I can live in the world we see again. You're asking me for $70. Give me another world. Give me a fucking isekai with big women, with women that have big fat tits, big asses, and lots of guns that frighten liberals. That's what I want. And with big muscle cars. That right? Like that's the thing that I want to see. I don't want to fucking see like the world. And by the way, again, this is the problem that triggers me so fucking much, is that they will say, this is the world we see. No, this is Cat Francisco, okay? This is Cat Francisco. Not everywhere on Earth is Cat Francisco. People in India don't get to see this. People in China don't get to see this. People in Japan or in Romania don't get to see this shit. And people in rural America don't get to see it. In fact, corpo art is pretty fucking rare, isn't it? You need to be in Chicago or Cat Francisco to see it. Look how soulless it is, right? No, like seriously, try and draw one of these anime characters. Like, if you're not an artist and someone were to say, you know what? If you draw this, you get $1 million. I don't care how long it takes, just draw me this. You're going to try to learn to draw, and it will take you probably a year or more in order to get to this level. To draw a Mega Man-like character, it will take, like, assuming you don't know how to draw at all, you've never touched a pencil, right? So you'd have to start from zero. Like, you'd probably need like 1 year or so in order to figure out how to do it. Meanwhile, if someone were to ask you, draw me this, oh my fucking god, it would take me a month at most. Probably less. I think I can actually do it in a week, actually. No, yeah, I can do it in a week. Like, this requires absolutely no talent, requires absolutely no effort. In fact, the reason they're like this is because they're so interchangeable. It's so interswappable, isn't it? Like, this is what corporate art is supposed to be. It's supposed to be soulless, so that anyone can do it. Like, you don't need to hire a professional artist. And it needs to look so generic to the point where I'm willing to bet if you remove the hairlines from these characters, they look the same. They look literally the same, and all you gotta do is, like, you go into an app on a computer and you change the hairstyle, and all of a sudden you get a new character. They have templates. Yeah. You don't even need to learn it. Yeah, like, I'm willing to bet there's a computer thing. Like, you go on a computer. Test it. Yeah, okay. So it's got a software, a computer program where you just click and drag. It's like making a character in The Sims, and that's how you make the corpo art. We draw the corpo art in a week. Well, I don't even know why I would. Like, I would actually have to spend time of my day in order to try to learn it. Not only that, I would have to actually buy one of those tablets where you can draw on them. No, I won't. I would like to point out that these people that most likely there wasn't even a single white person involved in creation of any of the Mega Man games. Yeah. But they think Japanese people are white, so there's that. Because what they mean by whiteness, and they actually say it, it's what do they call it? Meritocratic capitalism. That's what they believe by whiteness. How to draw manga. $12.99. I endorse the AI art. Change my mind. Don't worry. They are mostly pastimes of stock images in any case. Yeah. They don't even need people. They can do AI. They can get AI to do it. No, but the thing is, like, it needs to look abstract as well, right? It needs to look in a way that allegedly doesn't offend anyone. So, like, they have, like, these colors that don't even represent skin tones, like blue, purple, pink. But the thing is, right, like, when you look at corpo art, and I noticed that this issue with most modern art. Let's see if I can find an example. So, corpo art. I think this is one of the reasons a lot of people didn't like the new Monkey Island. I didn't either. It's because it had like the corpo art style. It didn't have the corpo art style, but it was very fucking close. Alright, I think this is the one, yeah. Give me a second so I can find something that I can share with you. Yeah, alright, I found it. Just takes a while to load. And I'm looking at it, right? And it just doesn't tell you anything. Even when it tries to tell you something, like for instance here, right? Like you have all these people coming out of the smartphone. So I guess it tries to highlight the existence of technology or something. I don't know, but it's so soulless. Like no one is going to stay and admire any of these things, right? Meanwhile, if you had like 3 anime girls that are cute and they're like hanging on to the G from Google as it's spinning along, you would actually have people stopping by and looking at it, and it would be like a wholesome thing. But like this is just so that the wall isn't white, right? It's just so that that there's no blank picture of the wall, and you actually have something to show. But like at this point, just put some pretty colors. Look how inoffensive it is as well. Like the women, they don't have any tits. There's no cute faces. Everything is bland. You look at some of the skin colors, a lot of them have like this yellowish thing with like a blue hair, right? So that it doesn't offend anyone. The black dude, of course, needs to have glasses to show that he's inoffensive, you know, sporting that, what was it? God damn it. The Nation of Islam look. But yeah, no, it's one of the worst type of art styles that I have ever seen throughout human history. Like even the art styles that are really bad, because like you look at certain cultures and they had like some really bad art style. Like for instance, the English, right? And you look at the lion on their flag, and it looks like it's a lion with Down syndrome. And you're like, well, they never saw a lion, right? Like they only read about it, and they were like thinking how it would look like. So they did try their best. But, like, you know that they can draw better than this. Like, you know they have the technology to actually draw better than this. But for some reason, this is it. I hope to God aliens don't actually find this shit. It's absolutely embarrassing. It's vector, you don't need tablet. No, it's not CalArts. I'm sorry to say. But CalArts actually looks better than this. Hold on. I will show you like two interesting things. So let me go for CalArts template. Let's see if the search engine wants to work with me. All right. So the purpose of CalArts is to make it cheap, right? Like you want the art to be churned out because you're having a weekly cartoon or whatever. So you want cheap art style. So how do you do it? Well, you get like large eyes, and then the head shape is the same, but you can add like various small signifiers in order to make it look different, right? So like you can add this hairstyle, and now it looks like a girl, a smaller hairstyle, and it looks like a guy. The thing is, anime literally does the same, right? Like the anime style is similar because it's also again, like a lot of people go, it's like, oh my god, anime, she is but a child, why is she drawn this way, why do they draw anime girls to look so young? They are not drawn to look young. It's the Disney art style. Like Disney invented this and anime perfected it. The head shape is the same. It's just that the hairstyle and the eyes are different, right? But because the characters do not have more details, like they do not have wrinkles, they do not have anything else, it makes them look young. So in the anime world, a character that's 16 or a character that's 25 looks exactly the same, right? But it's the same idea, it's the same general principle. It's like you're doing the same head style, and then you're adding different hairstyles and different eyes, which are very large, in order to convey emotion, right? And it's the large eyes which makes people think of young and minors. It's like got massive eyes like babies. But the reason they have massive eyes is to convey emotion a lot easier. However, this style looks good. This style looks shit and lazy. I can draw this style, this I can't. And to express emotion and sensuality using so little, like you just have a hairstyle to work with, and then you have like the eyes to work with, and that's it, is incredibly difficult. This one is easy as fuck. I probably have like the same default expressions as well for sadness, anger, etc., etc. The world isn't America, and not all Americans are fat. Yeah, I know, you got a lot of immigrants lately, so. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate the super chats, and I'm going to go to make the videos for my secondary channels now. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.